Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shoaib Ahmed, a fellow member of the Institute and Company Secretary, Sui Southern Gas Company Limited. My credentials include working with ICAP for 10 years, including as Secretary and Executive Director. In addition, I have also worked with State Bank of Pakistan as Assistant Director, Treasury Back Office Division. My articleship was from SMP, Mrs. A.M. Laliwala and Company. The key aspects of my association with ICAP includes I carry distinction of being the youngest secretary of the Institute. I have experience of working with 3 councils of the Institute. I am well versed with the requirements of the CA ordinance, CA bylaws and directives of the council. I have experience of maintaining a close liaison with the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Law and SCP. And most importantly, I know the issues and challenges faced by the Secretariat, the Council and membership at large. Dear members, let me express my deepest gratitude for the privilege of communicating with you today. This is particularly an honor, as this is the place that showed me a beacon of opportunity and hope. And most importantly, this is the place where I have learned to dream beautiful dreams. Thank you, ICAP, for being custodian of rich legacy of prestigious qualification, which is trustable and respectable for all these stakeholders. Thank you, ICAP, for providing opportunities to lower middle class persons like me and many, many others to make a wonderful and respectable career. Thank you, ICAP, for making this person something special by providing opportunity to work and serve the students and members and to act as its secretary, the most prestigious position in the Institute. And thank you, membership, for honoring me to serve you. Let me bow my head in front of God Almighty on this day. Thank you very much to you all. Dear members, today is the day where I'm not going to present my achievements at ICAP. They are already covered in my manifesto shared by the election committee and by the Institute. I am sure you will go through them before making your mind to vote for best 8 candidates in your wisdom. I also don't have any plans to read out my vision statement provided in the manifesto. I am only here to share my dreams that remained unfulfilled due to constraints, dreams that are navigating me to reach you once again, being members of this august family. But why? Because I believe that ICAP is the place where dreams are fulfilled. So please allow me to share my dream of seeing implementation of highest standards, governance, ethical and transparency standards in ICAP. Standards that provide clear demarcation on area of operations of the Council, its committees and staff of the Institute in professional manner. Standards that respect the roles, responsibilities and dignity of staff of the Institute. Standards that addresses the conflict of interest in decision making. Standards that ensures transparency in the formation of committees. Standards that curb self-projection and self-interest threats. Standards that promotes strategic thinking with regular updates to the members on implementation status through President communication. Standards that encourage gender diversity and participation of diverse set of local and international members in committees and specialized faculties as envisaged in my manifesto. Standards that encourage undertaking reforms in election process in order to bring transparency. Standards that ensures interest of ICAP to remain paramount consideration in every domain of its business and decision-making process. The decision of the Council for the implementation of SAP is heartwarming, and breath of fresh air. But to me, this is only a first step towards digital transformation of the institute. As a way forward, benchmarking with few reputable institutes like Malaysia or Singapore will assist in setting up the future direction and devising the roadmap in all the key areas of operations. While world is engaged in fighting COVID, the global pandemic forced us to adopt innovative ways of running operations in quick span of time. We can use this to our benefit for attracting talent, which is always a challenge for ICAP, by adopting digital workplace methodology in areas like publication, technical services, quality assurance, investigation, where mandatory office attendance may not be necessary. This needs to be strategized through deployment of remote but secured workplace technology infrastructure to facilitate remote working without compromising data integrity and access protocols. This will also help in providing work opportunity to female members who are housewives and members who are not holding any office of profit. Let me also alarm that fourth industrial revolution is around the corner. We are already lagging behind in keeping up with the pace at which digital technologies are taking over the businesses. With more than 85% of our membership in industry, and small and medium practices are struggling to cope up with the regulatory and cost pressures due to frequent regulatory changes, subdued GDP growth, and technological distortions. I see a great opportunity underlying for us in this threat. But only if we keep the members and students abreast with rapid technological changes in order to make them relevant and reliable partners for the businesses, which was once hallmark of our membership. It is important to embrace the challenge by coming up with grand center of professional excellence in order to cater to the training and development needs of the students and members. To make it a success, strategic partnerships will be required with institutions like Cambridge, INSEAD, Harvard, LUMS, IBA to name a few. This upskilling of members in the areas of strategic management, leadership, entrepreneurship, data analytics, blockchain, artificial intelligence, digital payment systems, and many other areas is absolutely necessary. Dear members, believe me, we have amazing set of young talent available, and I want the incoming council to embrace that talent by becoming partners in their professional growth. It's a valuable future which needs to be harnessed at all cost, and believe me, they will undoubtedly make all of us proud one day. Practice licensing is another core area which require immediate attention of the council in consultation with the stakeholders. It is the most neglected area despite the fact that it was the key regulatory activity which became basis for the formation of institute in 1961. It's high time to review the licensing requirements on one hand and to bridge the trust gap. And on the other hand, special emphasis is required on SMP upgradation through inculcating practice management skills, creating business opportunities, and training and development in the core and non-core areas of professional practice. Dear members, perhaps Pakistan is the only regime carrying student induction criteria of minimum 12 years of education, that too with 50% passing marks. While we heard a lot of noise in induction issues with firms from CAF passed students, there is no or very little discussion on students who failed to pass MSA or CAF level examinations. With majority of ICAP intake belongs to lower middle class families, it is our ethical and moral obligation to provide them contingency plan to pursue parallel graduation stream under a degree program which could be taken up in consultation with the ICMAP. This will also pave way for promoting research, as some of the such students and members may continue pursuing PhD programs also. I am sure this is not considered to be an astonishing proposal for a profession which is propagating high ethical standards in every domain of its business. Though contents of my manifesto may not become agenda of the Council, but I will strive to embed and integrate my manifesto into agenda of the Council if elected. Let me conclude by saying that ICAP is my pride, your pride, and it's our pride. And I am confident that none of us will compromise our pride. Thank you, ICAP and members, once again. Thank you very much.